Saddlers fans back at the Fortress here today ahead of today's early kick-off. I'm Simon, joined by Paul and Tom. Gents, another big game. Grimsby, it's an important one. We've got two changes.
Yeah, we have, and I'm going to echo the thoughts of head coach Matt Sadler. They're all important, Si, and I think if you can pick up points along the road as we did on Tuesday night, they all become important, particularly at this stage of the season. You mentioned the two changes there. Ellis Harrison comes back in for Jamil Matt, who unfortunately drops to the bench today because he's suffered a bout of illness himself, but he's recovered enough to find himself on the bench. And then we see Oshin McKenzie drop out onto the bench himself for the returning Harry Williams. I know a lot of fans have been asking where Harry's been, but it's been about him biding his time. Matt Sadler's said that he's just got that many options in there that Harry needed a rest. He's had that rest. He comes back in it today, and he offers us a complete different way of playing. Sometimes I think we've had Jamie Jellis doing the long throw-ins in recent weeks, but the returning Harry Williams, I would be expecting to do that, and we've seen what a force he can be during the time that he has played for the Saddlers so far this season. So I'm pleased to see him back in. A little bit disappointed to see Oshin drop out because of how well he's performed, particularly in that right-sided centre-back role. But Dave goes back into there, and that just goes to show the abundance of players that we've got that can play in those positions.
Yeah, it can't have been an easy decision for Matt Sadler, but obviously Harry Williams himself, he'll be chomping at the bit. He has to get back in the side, and he's had his breather now, as you say, and I think he'll be a real asset for the Saddlers. He's been absolutely sensational in that role in the middle of the back three, hasn't he? And I think set piece is always crucial in League Two, and I think he's a warrior when it comes to defending set piece, right? And obviously, like you mentioned, the long throw weapon he'll bring as well. And I'm really pleased to see Ellis Harrison back as well. I think he'd have got a lot of joy on Tuesday night. We created a lot of chances in that game, especially in the second half. Out of the 18 shots we had in that game, 14 of them came in the second half. And we hit the post, we had goalie making some great saves, some great claims, and it just wasn't quite dropping for us. I feel like having an Ellis Harrison as an option would have been, might have got us over the line. But he's back in today, and he'll be hoping to back up his goal at Cheltenham Town the other week as well. So different dynamic up front. Ellis and Adoma probably haven't really had much game time together, so I'm interested to see how that works out.
Yeah, it'd be really, really intriguing to see that dynamic up front. And one thing that's worth highlighting, including today, 5 home games left for the season. So definitely important for people like Ellis to make his mark, to come in. He's got Adoma there as a support, Harry back in. I think now we're into the gritty end of the season.
Yeah, we really are, and I mentioned it right at the start. Every game's important now, but none more so. I think at home we've seen how good the home support is, how good the home form is this season. It's just the 2 defeats in the league at home, which is incredible. If you'd have said to anybody at the start of the season, you get to this point in the season, mid-March or early March, and you've only lost 2 home games in the league, everybody's probably going to bite your hand off at that. And I think that was the first time last time out against Swindon in 26 home league games where the Saddlers have failed to score, and what an incredible run that is. And I think it just goes to, I think Tuesday night, Paul, you mentioned the shots that we had in there, and there was 301 travelling fans, which kudos to them, because that's an incredible amount of people to travel up to Carlisle on a Tuesday night. But if that game had been at home and you have that many shots in the second half, we've always spoke about the fans proverbially sucking the ball into the back of the net, and I think if we would have been at home, I think that second goal would have gone in and we'd have got that. But home games are really important, aren't they, Paul? And these 5 games, really could play a massive part in what we're going for.
They absolutely can, and obviously the reason why the home games are so vital is because of the home crowd, especially the one we've got here, especially the noise they're making, the Powerland stand. It's just a really special place, and from the view we've got, we just look to our left and we can see that Powerland stand, how full it is, and the noise they make, and how they it's a cliche, but they can really suck the ball into the back of the net or really put the opposition team on the back foot. So they will play a crucial part, and the atmosphere here that's generated, it's a really tight stadium. It's clear the players thrive of it, the players absolutely love it. So this place is going to be absolutely crucial. So let's hope we can put a similar run in the final 5 games to what we put before the Swindon game.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's keep it bouncing here at the Poundland Bescott Stadium. So much going on today as well, Paul. I know you've got a lot you want to cover. It's an important day here at Bescott.
It is, and it's what we're about as a football club. We're a community football club. We're an inclusive football club, and we want to raise awareness for a lot of campaigns. So we're supporting a couple of them today. Firstly, level playing fields, unite for access. So level playing field you know, an organisation that help disabled fans in football, you know, making stadiums more accessible for them. So we're going to be raising awareness for level playing field today. Really important campaign. It's also International Women's Day, so it's our dedicated fixture to Her Game 2. Now, Her Game 2 are an organisation who combat sexism in football, and we've partnered with Her Game 2 since 2021, and it's a partnership that's gone from strength to strength. There's been a lot of campaigns going. We started providing sanitary products as well, thanks to our partners Poundland. So it's all about making the game more inclusive to everyone, you know, women as well with Her Game 2. And I spoke to our Her Game 2 ambassador Dawn, who only started last month, so there's an interview with her on our website and on our social media channels. And as well, the lads have been speaking about their inspirational female heroes to yourself, Tom, and we had a couple of visitors to the training ground to speak to Jamie Jellis as well, didn't we?
Yeah, we did in St Giles Primary School. I know they've been, you know, fantastic ambassadors throughout many a foundation programme that we've done. But, you know, we welcomed Kyra and Crystal down earlier this week to the training ground, and they put some fantastic questions across to Jamie Jellis, who was on hand excellently to answer everything that was put to him. It's around about a 10-minute interview over on our YouTube channel, so if you want to go and check that out, it is really good, because Jamie, you know, talks about his own inspirational female footballers as well, and he picks out, you know, quite an incredible player in there in a Brazilian legend. So I think if you want to go and check that one out, it's really, really good. And, you know, it just goes to show that, you know, football is blossoming, particularly in the women's game now. We've seen it over the last, you know, 4, 5, 6 years, where it really is starting to grow. We've got another women's game coming up here next week, so that'll be a really good occasion as well. Hopefully we can get up and over 1,000 supporters here for that one, you know, try and break the records again for that one. And, you know, tickets are still available for that, so if you want to come down, there's plenty to do, and, you know, it's great to support initiatives like that again.
100%. So much going on. So come and join us. Again, another pre-match preview in the bag, but what's important is what's going to go on this pitch. Now, before we get drenched by the sprinklers, we'll leave it here. Saddlers fans, we want this place bouncing once again for another important game.